Houghton le Spring. Nestled amidst the rolling hills of Tyne and Wear, its story echoes with the clang of the pit and the whisper of coal dust. It's here, in the shadow of the old colliery, that a chilling tale unfolded, a story that sent shockwaves through the heart of this tight-knit town. Our story begins not with the clang of mining machinery, but with the chilling echoes of violence. Two names previously lost in the annals of criminal records would soon become synonymous with unspeakable horror: Stephen Unwin and William McFall. Their paths, marked by brutality and a chilling disregard for human life, converged in the unforgiving confines of a prison cell, setting the stage for a nightmarish ordeal that would expose the flaws in a system meant to protect. Their arrival, seemingly insignificant at the time, would herald a descent into darkness, a stark reminder that evil often wears the mask of ordinariness. Stephen Unwin, a seemingly unremarkable man with a stocky build and a brooding intensity in his eyes, bore the scars of a troubled past. His criminal record, a tapestry woven with threads of violence and petty theft, hinted at a simmering rage that lurked beneath his surface. Incarcerated for the brutal murder of a pensioner, Unwin's time behind bars seemed to do little to quell the darkness within him. William McFall, younger than Unwin, but no less menacing, exuded an air of unpredictability that set him apart even within the brutal hierarchy of prison life. His rap sheet, a litany of petty crimes and violent outbursts, painted a picture of a man teetering on the edge of chaos. Within the prison walls, McFall earned a reputation for volatility, prone to sudden fits of rage that left his fellow inmates wary. Unwin, the older and more calculating of the two, saw in McFall a kindred spirit, a fellow predator with whom he could share his twisted fantasies. Together, they formed a sinister bond, their conversations filled with whispered plans of revenge and a shared thirst for power that could only be quenched through violence. The night of August 14, 2017, descended upon Houghton le Spring like any other, the air thick with the promise of a late summer evening. Quyen Ngoc Nguyen, a young Vietnamese woman known for her infectious laughter and unwavering work ethic, was making her way home, oblivious to the horrors that awaited her. Drawn to Houghton le Spring by the promise of a better life, Quyen had quickly become a beloved member of the community. Unwin and McFall, their minds consumed by a toxic cocktail of drugs and depraved fantasies, set their sights on Quyen. Her vulnerability, her status as a newcomer, marked her as an easy target in their twisted game. What followed was a night of unimaginable horror, a sustained and brutal assault that defied all sense of human decency. The details of her ordeal, too gruesome to recount in full, stand as a testament to the depths of human cruelty. A stark reminder that monsters often walk among us. The details of Quyen's murder, as they slowly unraveled in the courtroom, sent chills down the spines of even the most seasoned legal professionals. The evidence, a gruesome tapestry woven from forensic reports, CCTV footage, and the chilling confessions of the perpetrators, revealed a calculated brutality that shocked the nation. Unwin and McFall, their faces etched with a chilling indifference, seemed unfazed by the weight of their crimes, their demeanor a testament to their utter lack of remorse. The prosecution meticulously laid out the case against the two men, detailing the horrific events of that fateful night. The evidence was overwhelming, leaving no room for doubt as to the guilt of the accused. As the trial progressed, the true depravity of Unwin and McFall's actions became horrifyingly clear. The heinous nature of the crime committed by Unwin and McFall begged the question, what could drive two individuals to such depths of depravity? Some point to the pair's shared history of violence, suggesting that their time in prison, rather than rehabilitating them, had instead hardened their hearts and desensitized them to the suffering of others. Others posit that Unwin and McFall's actions were fueled by a toxic cocktail of drugs and alcohol, their judgment impaired by substances that amplified their violent tendencies. The fact that both men had consumed a significant amount of alcohol and drugs on the night of the murder lends credence to this theory. However, attributing their actions solely to substance abuse feels like an oversimplification. It's likely that a combination of factors, including their shared history of violence, their dysfunctional personalities, and the disinhibiting effects of drugs and alcohol, coalesced on that fateful night, creating a perfect storm of evil. The murder of Quyen Ngoc Nguyen sent shockwaves through Houghton le Spring, shattering the town's sense of security and leaving its residents grappling with a profound sense of grief and disbelief. Candlelit vigils were held in her honor, the flickering flames a poignant symbol of the life so tragically cut short. Flowers, photographs, and messages of love and support adorned the streets, a testament to the impact Quyen had made in her short time in Houghton le Spring. Yet, amidst the outpouring of grief, there was also a palpable sense of anger, a collective cry for justice that echoed through the streets. The community, bound by shared grief and a determination to honor Quyen's memory, rallied around her family, offering support and solace during their darkest hour. As the full horror of Unwin and McFall's crimes came to light, a collective sense of anger and disbelief swept through the nation. How could two individuals with such violent pasts, who had already taken a life, be released back into society, free to wreak havoc once more? The failings of the justice system, its inability to adequately assess the risk posed by these dangerous individuals, were laid bare for all to see. Questions were raised, fingers pointed, and demands for accountability echoed through the halls of power. Politicians vowed to review sentencing guidelines to ensure that such a tragedy would never happen again. The public, outraged by the system's failure to protect one of its own, demanded answers, their cries for justice amplified by the media's relentless coverage of the case. In the wake of the tragedy, a public inquiry was launched to investigate the circumstances that led to Quyen Ngoc Nguyen's murder. The inquiry's findings, published in a scathing report, highlighted a number of critical areas where improvements were urgently needed. These included the need for more robust risk assessment tools, improved information sharing between agencies involved in the criminal justice system, and increased investment in rehabilitation programs for offenders. The recommendations put forward by the inquiry, if implemented effectively, have the potential to bring about meaningful change within the criminal justice system. By addressing the systemic weaknesses that allowed Unwin and McFall to slip through the cracks, society can work towards preventing such tragedies from occurring in the future. The murder of Quyen Ngoc Nguyen ignited a firestorm of outrage and grief that extended far beyond the borders of Houghton le Spring. Her story, a tragic reminder of the human cost of violence and the failings of the justice system, resonated with people from all walks of life, sparking a national conversation about the need for reform. Social media platforms became forums for expressing grief, anger, and a collective demand for change. The hashtag #JusticeForQuyen trended nationwide, amplifying the voices of those demanding accountability and a justice system that truly protects the innocent. Politicians, feeling the heat of public scrutiny, were forced to confront the uncomfortable realities of a justice system in need of urgent reform. The brutal murder of Quyen Ngoc Nguyen left an indelible scar on the community of Houghton le Spring, a chilling reminder that even in the most unassuming of places, evil can lurk. The fear, palpable in the weeks and months following the tragedy, gradually subsided, replaced by a quiet determination to honor Quyen's memory and to ensure that such a tragedy would never happen again. Yet the echoes of that fateful night linger, a constant shadow in the hearts of those who knew and loved her. Quyen's legacy, however, extends far beyond the confines of that house, that street, that town. Her story, a tragic testament to the human capacity for both love and cruelty, serves as a stark reminder of the importance of compassion, of looking out for one another, of creating a society where everyone feels safe and valued.